Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild and today we take a look at a rover. I want to start a new rover because I lost the last one and we need a new one. I want to go back to an old design that I had where I try to have a tricycle build. So I want to have two smaller wheels in the front, one big wheel in the back, and then see how I can improve that with maybe hover engines. I want to bring back the the thruster to navigate with the hover engines, and I'm not sure if I want to implement other things. I have to see how I build the chassis and then where this leads to, kind of. It's that reminds me of that I'm going nowhere with these turrets. Nowhere. I'm testing things and I'm using now, or I try to use a small turret on top of here to steer that whole thing. That works, but it's building one of these is neat just for the fun of it, but these things are just so more practical to use, and I'm going nowhere with this. Really, nowhere. You can see that I started to build the hangar on top of here. I already parked the ships in there and I have to do more work. You can see there's still, we will go up there in a bit, and let us do that now before we start anything else. As I said, before we start anything else, let us go and take a look what we now have here. We have the third layer. I didn't work on that yet, but here we have a bit more room to park the ships in, and I'm trying to close it up to give a proper ceiling to it and then a place where we can build the next layer on it. This is all heavy armor, so I can land the ships in here without damaging the floor. I have made connections to the whole connector, to the whole cargo system and all that stuff. I'm closing up the back. You can see that here. That's all work I'm doing in between other things. I'm still working with the ships because there's always a new version of the vector thrust script, and while I was testing stuff with 1WSX10, he also helped me to fix this problem. So I had the problem with the Izzy solar panel that I'm using a mod that brings up the rotor strength to be able to fly this thing. Otherwise this thing wouldn't move anywhere. For a big ship you definitely need a rotor strength mod. And the Izzy solar panel script brings up the rotor strength to the max when it is using it, and you can stop it from doing that, but it's not something that you can do with settings or so. You have to go into the script and turn off 2 lines of code, so it doesn't do that. It's not complicated, but for me as a non-scripter, I had to ask how would that look, and 1WSX10 helped me identify the lines, and then I could turn that off. So now I can set the rotor strength by hand, and I don't have to use or it doesn't go up to max. I can now just set a certain setting and then it uses that strength. That gives me, by the way, the opportunity, and that's the thing, it gives me the opportunity to make a solar farm make smaller solar panels, all that stuff, because now I can go in there, set the settings, and it doesn't shake itself apart. That was my main problem, that this thing tried to be stable, and it kind of starts to jiggle and wiggle, and then at one point it might be just a graphic issue, but it doesn't look nice when this thing looks like it is shaking itself apart. Now it works. This might also help with other things. Now I can identify how the lines would look, so I can work on that. By the way, you can see that I worked on the stabilizing pillars on the side, and I'm still figuring out a way to maybe make the sides look a bit nicer. All this stuff. Good, but let us start with a rover. We need a landing gear and some other parts. I want to have the wheels. I need a reactor, maybe just one for now. A cockpit, and then maybe a piston. I want to work with a piston so that we can prop this thing up if necessary. Now I didn't pick the landing gear. I should do that. I will just put it onto a small one, please. A small one, please. Okay, did this lock? Yeah, this locked. Good. Now we can expand on this. We will start at the front, I would say. That might be a bit nicer. Let us go and start with the cockpit, so that... Ooh, I'm not sure if that's high enough up. I will go a bit higher, and then we place the cockpit. I need to see how far I need to go back. The big wheel might be... okay, we can't see the 3x3. I want the 5x5 in small on the back side. The whole thing here is 3. Okay. Yeah, we need to take a look at this whole shebang, because I don't have the numbers in my head, so I don't have an easy way to now know how the... Okay, front wheels will be 3x3. This is right, and this is right. Oh, this might be a bit wider than I like. See, now the design process, that sounds, begins, and I'm... The thing that I then always have to do is, don't know, take a look at it and see how the sizes are that I want to have. This just needs to be a relatively small scout car. I want to use it to mark out ore deposits. We could use it to grab the pots that land in the area, and I don't need it to be this wide, so that immediately doesn't look really nice having it. I like when it when a car or something looks really stable and like it, but this is just too wide. Let us get rid of, we will now go and get rid of one set of the wheels, and then we just have to always go and see how wide we have one wheel. We don't have to, we will just start with a block in the front here and just go attach the whole wheel assembly immediately to the cockpit. I think that could be nicer because then it doesn't have this wide stance, the where it makes itself look like this crazy big T shape it would get, and then to balance it you would have to make it longer, and I don't want to have it as a really crazy long vehicle. It should be fairly compact. The backside will make it problematic anyways because let me figure out how big the wheel in the back would be. I can remove that with the built-in repair system. By the way, is really helpful when you try to work with things like that. It's so valuable to just be able to go in, place something, and if it's not what you think it should be, then see now the I have to balance this out. This is 3 wide, and then the whole assembly is 3 wide too. And to balance this out, I will have to make the front a bit wider. Otherwise, I would have to go. This cockpit is 3 wide, so the attachment point for the wheels needs to be somewhere here, and this, it's not as bad as I thought. It could be worse. It could be worse. This would bring the whole wheel in. Then we would have the wheel directly behind the cockpit. This would, by the way, would be the wheel that is used for the steering. Let me get rid of this. Is it positioned the right way there? It might be good. It might be good. And I also want to have a bit of a body around the ship, so we don't just have open, this all open. Oh, okay, it doesn't. Does it come in more? Can I bring them in? Can I bring in the steering power, height, offset, friction? No. So it's not like with a rotor where I could grab that thing and pull it in. So we will need to go 1 block more to the outside, and then we definitely run into problems with the width of this thing. So let me figure this out. I would have liked to save the last one I did. It was a pretty nice one, and it was pretty balanced pretty well. I didn't. I have put my first thing on the workshop, my big cargo hauler. By the way, I need a name for this. People need to come up with a good name for this. Something that says big or says cargo hauler, so it's not a small nimble thing. So maybe if you find something, let me know. I need a better name for it. So, and what I could also do, but I don't have suspension then and all that stuff, is so see, now we run into the problem that the backside now is bigger than the front, because we have to go at least this far out. Now we have to think, can we compensate that with the front wheels? So I think the front wheels need to be at least as wide as this part here. Good thing is we don't need to basically don't need to be this wide on the other side. Let me remove the part in the front here, and we will just go one. I would like to go a bit more to the front, so have it this way, and then we use the, okay, this is the right way. So now we have it as at least as wide as this, and then we need to find a good way to bring that in. We need a bit of space for the steering, so we cannot completely close this off. Let me grab a reactor, fill that up, and then we can see how far in this whole thing goes when it steers. Oh, didn't show that. I removed some of the, or not some, all the things that were on the bridge. I decided that I want to clear this up here, so I can build rovers down here for now. That's why I also brought the smaller ships up there. Let me go in and we say this is the steering part. Can I turn this off somehow? Can I say this is not steering? Invert air shock. So, can I say this has steering angle Z? Okay, I can just do this. This is turned on, hopefully. Yes. Let us go and see. Why can I not? Ah, okay. It goes in that far, so at least one block. and I need to balance it a bit. The center of mass, I'm not sure if it really does something, but it needs to be at least a bit balanced. So we can maybe do a bit of a diagonal line over here, so it then doesn't look so just crazy crazy wide anymore, but we still need to compensate that. So I think this width is good. The last time I tried to cover this stuff, but that didn't work out too well. Maybe we can test it now with the new wheels. Maybe they changed some stuff that doesn't break. So the last time it broke down all the parts that I surrounded it with, and some broke, some didn't, and that was not a satisfactory solution. So what can I do? I will make a diagonal line internally here, and then we kind of have to find a good way to balance it out on the other side. And maybe I think I will work a bit on this and then come back to you. This needs time at the moment. You know how I build. You all know it, that I'm not one that goes in with the perfect plan and says, here, this is all I need. I'm trying to figure it out on the way. You know that. You know that. And sometimes it doesn't lead to anything. Good. Let me work a bit on this, and then I will be back and show off what I have done in the meantime, and we maybe take it out for a test drive just to see how bad the balance is off. We will see. So I already took it out for a bit just to see how bad it is. It's pretty bad. Let's say it that way. I need to make the whole thing wider, because if I go faster, this whole thing flips like crazy. I just maybe I turned off the gyro. Maybe it did something for us, but I just had to put some. Yeah, you can see that as soon as I go into certain directions, we lose a bit control, because then it starts to tip, especially to the right, and that's not too neat. Yeah, we need to make the front wheels a bit wider. That might ruin the look, but on the other hand, I also want it to be pretty stable. At the moment it feels like a bit of a British car, the Reliant Robin, that if you go too hard into curves, you start rolling it over. That happens here too. Yeah, I need a good way now to prop it up so that I can work on it. It's always a bad idea, but you have to work with stuff like that. Everybody can do 4 wheels. We need to do 3. Good. Let me do a bit more work on it. Ice is not the best surface to test this anymore, but if it doesn't flip on ice, then I can only hope that it doesn't flip anywhere else. So, ooh, this thing drifts. That's a good thing. I already have put in the hover engines, but I haven't put any way to steer that at the moment. So I will not turn them on. I just wanted to put them below so I can maybe use them later to prop this up, because at the moment you can see I have a piston in the front with a landing gear to prop it up so I can work below the whole thing. We need to go back to land and see how it behaves on the land. I think I'm still not used to this, that now different surfaces have different behaviors basically. So that's still a thing I need to get used to. Okay, let us go back onto land. And here it also behaves pretty well. You can see that I have made it wider in the front. I also, what was that? I also brought the back wheel a bit down. Let me turn this on, reverse, and then we can prop it up again. So brought this a bit down. That gives it a different stance. So what I want to have is that it needs to have this diagonal look. It needs to, the front needs to be lower, and then what I now would like to have, and we could try. Yeah, it's the thing is, I want to have the back wheel steerable. Sometimes I think about maybe we could use a piston to have something that looks like not a piston, a rotor or so, that looks like a suspension for the back wheel. But then the back wheel will not be steerable anymore. So the thing on the side will be this, will be the look that we are getting. Now I have to think how I can put on the thruster to steer the hover engines. I think I will do that with extend this a bit more so it covers this a bit more, and then put the thruster on the top, maybe integrate the rotor so that the thruster is pretty flush with the top. That should look a bit nicer than have it stick out there like crazy. I don't know how to enclose this. I might not do an enclosure here, so keep this open, go a bit back with this part here and close the wheel just a bit so it stays open and visible. Question is, how should I balance this out? I need some way to... Can we see the center of mass of this thing? We should be able to see this. Okay, see, the center of mass is a bit off to the right, and we need a good way to bring it back to the other side somehow. I will have to think about a way. Maybe I can bring back the enclosure a bit, or can bring it a bit farther back than then so basically bring it to somewhere back here, and then have a block, maybe a diagonal block, and this one comes back as far as I can go with this. This should be all I can go to. I shouldn't cover it up already. That might make problems with... Yeah, now now I will have problems with the dampening on this side. So this might not be a good thing. Otherwise I might destroy the wheel. So maybe it needs to be open. Otherwise I might have destruction on here, and that's not what I want to have. So this needs to be open. I can close it up. I think in the top I can close it up a bit more, because now I'm a block, 1.5 blocks away from it. So if it ever dampens in this much, that shouldn't happen. Good. Let me see. Have this go on top, and then we put in a rotor. For the thing that I have now is that right? Can I see where the 0 is? It's to the back. I want to have the 0 to the front, just so I know it. I will bring this out. Give me the thruster. The thing is, now the thruster might absolutely be not enough for... Ooh! Why did this happen now? It's because the thruster is turned on. So I had the same with the where is it? I need to see, take a look at the wheel. It should go down. Why does it do that now? Ah, people. I forgot that. I completely forgot that. The wheels can't destroy anything anymore because they are sub-assemblies. So if sub-assembly damage is turned off, the wheels will not destroy anything there. That's neat, but why does it go up so crazy? Why does the wheel go up? What is this? What is this? Why does the wheel go up so crazy? Why does it do that now? Is it because of the thruster? Is it? It is because of the thruster. Why can't it? Oh, this game. I have the same problem with the hover engines. The hover engines have the same effect on the whole car, and I cannot say why. As soon as I turned them off or on. So I attached them to the car, and suddenly one of the wheels started to basically bring itself in. I think it was the left wheel or so. It started to go up like the back wheel just did there, and I cannot say why. Why is that the case? Is it a lift thing, or is it just a... Now it goes into the different... into the complete opposite direction. So what is happening? This is not right. This is just not right. I'm okay with this. I'm kind of okay with this, but I don't know. Oh, why? Okay, I need to set the rotor. I need to bring in the... Let me do that quick work so that we have the complete functionality back, so that we can hover with it, that we can steer it in hover, that we can drive normally. If that's established, then we can work more on the design of the whole thing. So yeah, let me do that. I will be back in another second. Yeah, you can see what happens with wheels. I have the feeling I just got blown away, killed, respawned in there, and then this happened. So wheels are gone, thrusters gone, wheels in the front still on there. I don't know. Clang is not dead. Let's say it that way. Clang is really not dead. I figured out that the thing that we had with the wheel going down was easily fixed by just basically building a new block that changed that. I don't know what to say. I just don't know. I have to repair things now, and that was really unnecessary, because I just stood here. I just stood next to the thing. I've placed one block on it, and then I didn't even place a block. I removed the block, this one, the slope that I had here, and then it seems this wheel exploded. I respawned, this thing turned over, and everything else exploded. So I have to salvage this now, and I have to work more on it. This... Can we still not work on wheels, or is it bad to have other things on there? So maybe the thrusters are not a good thing to have on there. Maybe we need to make a dedicated hovercraft or something like that. So have a wheeled craft without thrusters. That's just an assumption I can make now, because we had on the last one that violently exploded, we also had thrusters on there that may have destroyed it. I cannot say. So we saw how the wheels reacted to having thrusters on there, and that might be an indication that they don't really work well together. The hover engines, oh, we have them. We can prop this up. Maybe I can give me a sec so that I can maybe give it another rotor head, put another thruster on there so that we at least can maneuver it out of the hole there with the hover thrusters. So yeah, maybe we need to make a real, can't combine that. That could be the case. I'm not sure. Again, we saw how the wheels reacted to the thrusters. That could be, again, a sign for them not working really well together. So let us see. Another thing that I discovered is that we have a bit of a problem with the script, because the script asks for no. I hate it. Maybe I can get it out of there. So let us recompile the programmable block, recompile this, then grab G, get rid of this, 3, run remove, and then run, and with stand by, confirm. So now we may be able to, can we push it out of the hole there? That would be neat. Let us see if more thrusters help us pushing this thing out of there. I'm not sure if it works that way, but it could be. Okay. Not having enough energy is another problem. The start of this whole thing is not what I wanted to do. So I think I will try to rescue this. I want to hear from you what you want to see. Do you want to see a hover vehicle first? Do you want to see the 3-volt rover first? Putting them together again seems to be not a good idea, so let us stay away from that for now. Why is there... use up all the uranium? I've put in... Ah, okay, it seems that something got destroyed there. So it dropped the uranium. Come on, come on, get out of here. Yes. At least we have it out of there. Now we can maneuver it to a better space. Hopefully it stays here. Stay there. Don't move. Grab some of these. Yeah, it then immediately starts to drift. So let us... How can we alleviate this? Get some wheels. Because we saw how good this works with the wheels. Again, it could be that is our problem, that we just have to not use the wheels and some thrusters together. Did any of you make any experiences with this? So did you see any problems with them together, or could it be the hover engines? Maybe it's just the hover engines that make it. Maybe it's not normal thrusters. Maybe again it's hover engines together with the wheels that don't behave pretty well. I'm not sure. Good people, we have to deal with this over the next few episodes. Give me an opinion. I need a name for this ship. Something big, something cargo-y. We need an opinion on this. Have a vehicle first. Wheeled vehicle first. I personally would like to see a wheeled vehicle first, and then a hover vehicle, a hover car or something like that. And if you know anything, maybe you have seen the same problems, let me know. Good people, but that's all for today. Took longer than I wanted, and I don't want to do all the work again yet now. I will do that in the time between, and if I have opinions from you. Good people, thanks for watching. I hope you liked the episode. If you did, then please leave a like on it, and I hope to see you in the next episode. See ya, guys.